It's Friday, it's Friday, it's Friday. Alright, so today was just a repeat of yesterday minus sociology. So I was doing the same 1920s lesson, teaching them the Charleston, doing the same stuff. And so there's not much different that I did. I did decide to change the presidential activity for my average class today. We were supposed to look at paintings instead that were done during the 1920s, but we ran into the same problem we did in our class yesterday, where we had to set up the Google Classroom and like get the people logged in and do all this stuff, and so they still didn't really get it done. I told everybody to answer 2 questions and then I'm gonna grade what they had. So it didn't quite work out as efficiently as I wanted it to, and I even changed the way that I had them grouped and like gave out the stuff. So I like made a little piece of paper and put numbers on them. There were 7 paintings, so I had 7 groups. So I made enough to have everybody get a number and make the group type of thing. And so as they were coming in, I was giving them the number for later, and I had all of them were green, except there was 1 yellow card for each group. So all the 1s were green except for the 1 yellow card, all the 2s were green except for the 1 yellow card. And the yellow people were supposed to get a Chromebook. And so if you had a yellow card, we were reading the article that we're going to answer questions about for 5 minutes. And during like the last couple minutes or so, if you had a yellow card, you were supposed to come up and get a Chromebook, and then I was going to help them sign in to Google Chrome, stuff like that. It was going well. Like, we got it all sorted out. We were reading quietly. We were getting ready to do the stuff, and I had it all sorted out, but it took them so long to figure out how to log on to their Google Classroom. And so we spent like 10 minutes trying to get all of the people who were doing the Chromebooks getting on Google Classroom. And so we didn't really it wasn't as efficient as it could have been. If they would have known how to do Google Classroom, if they would have already been logged on, it would have been fine. We would have been able to do everything. But now I know, since next class, I'll talk more about that. Next class, I'm doing a lesson that's on Google Classroom, like everybody needs to be on it. Now I know I need to build in time so that we can all get on one accord and all get on to the same class. But yeah, so that part didn't work as well. But I blame it on the technology in my school's district. If they knew how to work Google Classroom and they were already signed in and everything, and it was easy to access the assignment, then I think my number system would have been much better. And so I'll have to keep that in mind for later. And I think it'll be good for the lesson plan to have to do later on in other units for my internship, because this next lesson will be on, everybody's going to need to be on Google Classroom. So we'll have time to work through those kinks then and get everybody squared away with that. So it was a good day. My first class with the Charleston, we had to pull some teeth, and I almost didn't do it. But then I was like, last class got 100 quiz grades, so y'all might be able to do the same. And of course, now they want to jump up. So I had quite a few trying to do it with me today, but it wasn't as much as in the past ones. And so we did some of that. And I had a few students in that class who could actually do it, which that was good. Then in my honors class, the last one I didn't have to pull teeth at all. It was amazing. I was just like, so now we're going to learn it. So let's stand up. And like most of everybody were standing up, and I was like, oh, I don't have to pull any teeth. This is great. And so we learned it. They struggled quite a bit learning the Charleston, but it was interesting, but I had people attempt it and it was good. And then I did it to a faster song. Since I learned it for an hour, and then I've practiced it in three classes before I taught it to the last class I did. And so by then I got the at least the legs down. I could kind of do the arms with it a little bit, but at least the legs I got. And so we did it to a faster song. They're like, hey, why don't you show us how to do it? You can do, you do it, after I had taught them. And so I didn't have the argument, I'll show you as we go through it so I can teach you type of thing. So I did a little bit of what I could to the song, and they were like, oh, she could actually do it. What? So that was funny. But yeah, so also in that class, I had the whole class, all of these last couple days I've had the whole class to present my 1920s lesson. But in that last class, I don't know what it was about what I was saying, but I would say some things and I guess they were funny, so they would just be like, they wouldn't like die laughing, but they would just snicker at what I say, not like they were making fun of it, just as it was something that they didn't expect me to be able to say, or me to say type of thing. And so it was just like they were joking around and stuff. But they weren't rowdy, but they were very talkative today. It was a little tough to get them to be quiet while I was talking. So that was interesting, kind of new for that class. I think my issue is that I'm a very much a work first, play second type of person. And so if I have stuff in my head that we need to get through, then that's kind of like my track. And it's hard for me to get off my track and go on like tangents, stuff like that. My co-op is not bad that he does this, but my co-op can like joke with the students and like depart from the lesson to like talk to them and then come back and do all that stuff. But for me, I don't know if it's because I'm scared I won't remember my place or what, but I definitely am it's kind of a one-track mind, and that can be a problem. But I think I developed that from marching band. In marching band, I was a section leader for 2 years in college, and also band captain and section leader in high school. But in college, the section leader before me, she was more of a work and play simultaneously type of thing. And for me, not for everybody, but for me, I just kind of felt that we had more work that we could do to be better as a section. Not that we were bad, it's just my leadership style was more of a let's get stuff done and then we can watch YouTube videos. And so I kind of like stuck with that mentality, and I don't really think about how, it's not that I don't care about the others that I'm leading, but I just don't think about how they may feel about taking a break or doing something like that. And so I try and fix that by making sure that there are activities built into the lesson that I'm trying to accomplish, that once we get to that activity, I can have time to let them go off on their own, to let them joke around, do all that stuff. But then when we come back, then we know we need to get through this, and then I have something else for you that we can do that's fun type of thing. So I think that's what I'm going to try and do to combat that, but I also just need to pay attention and respond to my classroom, which I think will be helped if I go to sleep at a better day or better time, because I'm so tired lately. Like, teacher tired is a thing, and I think I am heightening it by going to bed at 10, 11 o'clock at night. I need to go to bed at 9, and I sound like an old person by saying that, but when you need to get up at 5 in the morning, you gotta do what you gotta do. And I don't like admitting that, but it has to happen. So hopefully I'm gonna try and get some good work done this weekend. For my impact study, we have to do a whole unit that we plan for, and we pre-test and we post-test, and we create lessons and we reflect and do all this stuff for the impact study. And so one thing that's due soon, because my unit is starting soon, is the pre-test, and also a unit plan or an implementation plan. And so I'm wanting to get a good start on that this weekend. We'll see how much I get done, but I want to get a good start on that this weekend so I can get a better night's sleep this coming week, because I have less to do. So that's the plan for this weekend. I like thinking that, but we'll see if it actually gets done. I was mentioning the next lesson plan that I'm going to do, which is going to be about the Great Depression. Naturally, after the 1920s, you got the stock market crash and the Great Depression. And so that's what we're going to talk about, but we're going to do it with the hyperdoc. I learned this in my technology class, and a lot of the things I've learned about technology in general, I learned in the technology class, which I just took like a couple weeks ago, but I really like implementing that type of stuff, and I'm not scared to like experiment with it. And so we're going to do a hyperdoc, which is basically a web quest, if you heard of that, or it's just a slideshow, or if you do like Google Drive and then you make a Google slide and then you put activities and stuff inside the slideshow that the students can go through, and they can like have a link to a website and they can go read a website, and then they answer questions on the slide, and then there's like a document that they go and they answer questions and do all that stuff. And so it's very much a interactive, self-guided learning experience. And so I'm kind of doing a flipped classroom with it. So the first time they'll be introduced to the information about the Great Depression will be with the hyperdoc. And I have to make some adjustments to the hyperdoc to match the notes that we're taking. And so I might make their notes kind of like a field guide type of thing. But they'll do that, and then we'll discuss it afterwards and like clarify and actually like the stereotypical, well, not stereotypical, but the typical teach them the information type of things. But they would have already known it. And so I already have the hyperdoc put together. Like I said, I have to alter it a little bit, but then I also have to come up with a discussion and maybe activity afterwards. I'm expecting them to take, I wish they would take the whole time on it because I don't want to do anything else, but I'm expecting it to take 30 minutes to an hour. I'm hoping, but that does seem kind of long for them to be working on this on this hyperdoc, and I'm having them do it individually too. So we'll see how it works, especially with my average classes who are very talkative. We might have some issues, but then if they're very talkative, it might take them the whole time to do it because they'll be distracted. But I gotta work through that, so I'll probably do that tonight and then work on the next unit tomorrow and everything. So yeah, so that's my plan for the future, well, the short-term future, and that's how my day went. It was pretty good. I'm very happy with these last couple days. I'm glad that I got to teach the Charleston. It took me a little bit out of my comfort zone, do it in front of them, but I think that got me some brownie points with them. So I'm hoping they'll not like me a little bit more, because I don't think they didn't like me before, but I hope that kind of shows them what types of things that I'm going to do with them. I want to show them that I can be interactive and it's not going to be boring. So yeah, so that's all I got, and have a good weekend. I probably will not vlog this weekend, so you won't see anything until Monday. And if I do vlog, it's probably going to be like a here's what happened, all-encompassing video for the weekend type of thing, but I probably won't vlog. So have a good weekend and make today great.